Let's talk Womentalk.
Hi, I'm Sher-Li, and we've been talking about the 4 different stages in your career path that a woman tends to go through. We've covered the first 2 stages, which is exploring as well as establishing. Today we're going to cover the 3rd stage, which is the mid-career stage. Now this is the most challenging stage as well, because very often life takes on a much bigger role in your entire journey, and you find that a lot of women, you've become either a mother or you have to take care of your parents. It's become very real, and that takes up a lot of your time. This is where people come forward and they keep asking for work-life balance. One of the challenges at this stage is also because as your career is taking off, at the same time, you want to spend more time with family. You want to be able to devote your efforts to family. So your workspace, your work environment actually may not be as supportive of it at the same time. This stage is actually the most fluid stage, because for every single person, the environment that they're in is very different. The family that you have is very different. The kind of support that you get to help you manage the roles is very, very different. So I think it's very important, firstly, to recognize that your situation is not going to be exactly the same as your peers, your friends, your family. You just sit down and say, what is available to me? So for example, in the career, if you do have a very supportive boss, wonderful. But if for whatever reason you don't, it is very important to then ask, hey, is there something in my life that needs change? But you may then say, can I tap on certain sources for help? Can I go to people that may help me, with looking after the kids, or maybe help me with looking after my parents? And second thing, I think very importantly for a lot of women at this stage is be aware that this is not permanent. The sense of helplessness that a lot of women face in the mid-career is you have this concept that if I entirely leave the workforce, I cannot come back in. That's one thing. Or maybe if I leave my kids to somebody else, I cannot change anything. I can no longer be fully in control. What it is at this stage is there are areas where you may have to let go a little bit of control, and there are also areas where you say, maybe for now I don't do it. So it's about weighing your priorities, and these priorities within this period of time of say maybe 5 to 10 years will keep changing as the children grow older, as your parents, maybe they require more help or they require less help. Whatever it is, because it keeps changing, you have to be very, very fluid all through this entire stage. If taking care of the children is where you need support, and for whatever reason you don't have, so for example, family cannot support you, or you cannot even get childcare options because there's just no space available in childcare centres, for example, then think outside of the box. I've come across women who say, I no longer turn to family, I turn to neighbours for help. There are people who co-parent. They co-parent in the sense not that they share the child, but they help to look after each other's children at different times so that they actually can go back to work. So it's about really being very original and creative, and not being too set on saying that this is the only kind of work I need to do, or this is the only kind of arrangement I need to do with my living situation. Once you get a little bit more fluid, you find that this stage is easier for you. The key impact on your career is to realize that it does not last forever. So if you choose at this stage to say step out of your career entirely, be very aware that there is an option to come back in. It's not going to be an easy path, all right? At the end of the day, because you've taken time off, there will be some challenges coming back in. But to believe that you cannot come back entirely, it's definitely a myth. So it's very important at this stage to really think through, what exactly do you want? What exactly needs you? What are the things that can be compromised? What are the things that cannot be compromised? The other very important thing at this stage is because life takes so much more puts so much more of an emphasis on you at this stage. I think it's very important to say what is important to you at this stage, because what's important to other people is not important to you. So don't be judged by what other people think about you or what society deems as being the right kind of a career woman that you should be at this stage. I've spent a little bit more time on this particular stage because it is one of the most important stages in a woman's career path, and it's actually the most challenging as well. Don't forget to check out the final video where I'll cover the last stage of the career path, which is the late career stage.